Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
Hello, Homestead. I'm Ellie Davis.
And I'm Carson Clymer.
It's Friday, April 13th, and time for today's episode of HHS In Depth.
On today's show, you'll see our conversation with Principal Dr. Ginder regarding the last month and a half of the school year.
You'll learn about how recycling is back at Homestead and what all can be recycled with the new service.
We'll have a preview story over tonight and tomorrow's variety show in the Homestead Auditorium.
You'll meet two different Homestead athletic teams in this week's 2-Minute Drill with Garrett Willis.
And Joe is in to take a look at this weekend's weather forecast and another Whether or Not.
We'll bring you all those stories and much more, so stay tuned for today's episode of HHS In Depth.
We begin today's show with a sit-down with Principal Dr. Ginder. Reporter Reagan Jones caught up with Dr. Ginder after spring break to get his thoughts on various topics over these last 7 weeks of the school year.
As we return from spring break, Dr. Ginder wants to encourage students to support one another in their passions of sports and art.
Well, I think we all look forward to a change in weather, which we could use if you've been here over spring break. But I would tell you, get out and see your peers. Go see a baseball game, softball, see the track and field kids compete, get across the road to a tennis match. And then also we've got lots of good things. Show choir, we'll have some performances, believe it or not, here in the building, orchestra, band. We've got the musical coming up. So there's a lot of things that are happening in the building. Get out and support the Spartans.
It's our first week back, and right away, Dr. Ginder has noticed the high respect kids still have for our building, specifically in the lunchroom.
I think I'd just like to thank everybody and reiterate a thank you that Mr. Uppergrove and I were talking about in the lunchroom today. And our lunchroom was immaculately clean. People's behavior during lunch was amazing. Those little things set the tone, and when we show the adults in the building that we care, the cafeteria personnel, the custodians, those things make a big difference, and it sends a message about how different our kids are from maybe the rest of the community. So I want to thank you for that and ask you to keep it up.
Altered schedules and standardized tests always pose obstacles for students, but Dr. Ginder emphasizes staying calm and to remember to put your best foot forward.
In terms of the I-STEP schedule, I would just tell you, don't sweat it. It's going to be different, but we just roll with that and don't let that bother you. To a certain extent, I'd say the same thing about the I-STEP exam itself. Yes, it's the graduation exam. Yes, it's a big deal. No, it doesn't determine your fate, and it doesn't mark you for the rest of your life whether you're worth something or not. Sometimes I think the media and the states put way too much emphasis on that. So we want you to relax into it, take it seriously, and do your very best not to let it bother you. We're going to find a way to get you to the finish line.
Like every year, nearing the end of the school year means final exams, and Dr. Ginder stresses the importance to stay focused and finish the year strong.
Lastly, as we head toward final exams, I want you to start thinking about those exams early and schedule them so that you can cycle through them. Don't wait to the last minute and cram on Thursday for Friday's test. But really, you want to start on Tuesday. Study hard, study again on Wednesday, get away from it Thursday, and wake up before the exam on Friday and just brush through your notes. And then do the same thing before the Tuesday and Wednesday exams when we come back from Memorial Day. Give yourself some time.
Administration is excited to see students succeed in all aspects and reminds you to finish strong. For HHS In Depth, I'm Reagan Jones.
Biomed Club will be having a meeting next Wednesday, April 18th in room 215, Mrs. Barron's room, where they will be hosting Dr. Annie O'Shaughnessy, a nephrologist and kidney specialist. This is a rescheduled meeting from March. Go out with questions and snacks will be provided.
Dare to be a force of nature and get out to Homestead's next Environmental Club meeting on Tuesday in Mrs. Merkling's room, room 206. You will be meeting to prepare for both the rain barrel decorating campaign for the Little River Wetlands Project, as well as our Earth Day resale fundraiser. There's a lot of preparation to do, so all help is appreciated. Again, that's this Tuesday in room 206.
Have you been working on spring cleaning recently or plan to soon? Please consider donating all of your unwanted items to the Environmental Club for the Earth Day resale. Any item you would give to Goodwill or Salvation Army can be brought to Mrs. Merkling's room, room 206. Items will be accepted through next Thursday, April 19th. All proceeds of the sale go towards maintenance in the Environmental Center.
Photography Club will meet next week, Wednesday, April 18th, after school in room 104. Hope to see you there.
You may have heard that recycling at Homestead is back after a few months of not having it at all. To hear more about this and what all can be recycled now, here's reporter Sydney Scholl.
You may remember hearing from Principal Dr. Ginder about the hiccup at Homestead that put a temporary hold on recycling, but that wait is over. Homestead has rebooted their recycling pickup system with new and improved options.
With our previous program, we had boxes that are inside of the classrooms, and those boxes are or were paper products only. And in the past then, students who were doing community service would come and collect just the paper products to put them into the bigger recycling containers that the company would come and collect. The new program, we're very fortunate, it is much broader, that in addition to paper, we are also able to recycle styrofoam, plastic, glass, any materials that you would be able to recycle at home through the city utilities, we are also able to recycle here at school as well. Also a benefit is that we don't have to separate it out at all. We're able to just put all of those materials into the same container to have them collected.
With the additional access points for recycling at Homestead, it is still important to follow the universal recycling rules for specific types of materials to keep the products eligible.
You'll just want to make sure that any bottles that you place there, that they are cleaned, or at least that the liquids are dumped out, and that the bottles and the lids then are recycled separately into the same container.
Regardless of recent obstacles, Homestead staff and students are proud to be a part of a facility that puts their best efforts to care for the environment in as many ways as they can.
Having a legitimate care and concern for the earth. I'm really, really excited that this has now become a part of our school community and something that we will be able to proceed forward with in the future to send our waste to a recycling center instead of just to the landfill.
Homestead thanks you for being intentional when throwing away recyclable materials on a daily basis. As of now, you can find recycling bins in classrooms, next to printers, and in the cafeteria. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Sydney Scholl.
Homestead's Junior-Senior Prom is on Saturday, May 19th. If you plan to bring a guest who is not a current Homestead student, you will need to complete a guest request form. Please plan ahead because the form requires the signatures of the guest parent, as well as an administrator from the guest's current high school if applicable. Completed forms are due by 3 p.m. on Wednesday, May 9th. There are absolutely no exceptions to this cutoff time. No faxes or late copies will be accepted. Forms are available on the Homestead website as well as in the discipline office.
This is just a reminder that next week, starting on Tuesday, there will be a modified schedule. Please check your Canvas calendars or the Homestead website to view the schedule.
Students taking the I-STEP next week should remember to bring their laptop and cord every day, as there will not be extra laptops or power cords to lend out for the exam.
Homestead's annual variety show takes place tonight and tomorrow. To learn more about it and some of its performers, here's reporter Ganit Lauria.
Homestead is bringing back its variety show, allowing students to showcase their talents, whether it's singing, dancing, or playing an instrument.
The variety show is basically students coming to show their peers what it is that they enjoy and what they're good at. I've always done music, but there have been people who do dances and comedy sketches.
This year the variety show is at the end of Spring Arts Week, and Spring Arts Week is usually just to showcase all the artists at Homestead, and so this will be the Friday and Saturday at the end of the week just to end the week and have people get to come out outside of school and listen to some of the people here who sing or do other forms of music.
It is more than just getting up on stage the night of the show, requiring preparation for the big night.
Before the variety show, there's an audition a week before, I think, and you just sign up for a time and then you go into the auditorium and sing your song or do your act for Mr. Shaw, and he posts the list, I think, the day afterwards.
After the auditions, you had one practice before spring break, where you just run through your song so that they can get the mic levels, and then we're having another practice before the show.
Those who work hard to perfect their performing art appreciate the support the audience gives them.
It's really like supporting the arts itself, because you're not just supporting your fellow students, you're supporting their interests and what they enjoy doing.
Come support your peers tonight and tomorrow. Entry is $5 and the show starts at 7. Reporting for HHS In-Depth, I'm Ginder Lalleria.
It's not too late to become a student government member next year. Pick up an election application from Mrs. Connerly in the Academy or from Mrs. Moss in room 723 of the 1012 building. Applications are not due until April 24th, so you have plenty of time. Your student government needs you.
Any student who has signed up to take an AP exam must attend one pre-registration session. Sessions will be held on Monday, April 16th at 2:45 in the cafeteria, Wednesday, April 18th at 7 a.m. in the cafeteria. Doors 4 and 7 will be open at 6:55 a.m. And finally, on Thursday, April 19th at 2:45 in the cafeteria. Please bring a number 2 pencil and arrive on time. Once again, AP testers only need to attend one of the 3 sessions. If you do not attend a session, you will not be able to sit for your AP exam.
And now for another installment of the 2-Minute Drill, here's Garrett Willis. This week you'll learn about 2 sports teams at Homestead, our baseball and girls lacrosse team.
Hello once again, Homestead. I'm Garrett Willis, and it's time for this double-dip edition of the 2-Minute Drill. For some stupid reason, it's April, and it's still snowing outside. For some reason, this didn't happen at all last year, and I wonder if it has some sort of correlation to who our weatherman was this time last year. No matter though, even though the snow has been coming down the last 2 weeks, the teams here at Homestead have still been grinding, and all spring sports have started their competition seasons. The boys of summer had to play in some cold conditions so far, but they are starting to heat up with the weather the last few days. Your feature this week is over your Spartan baseball team.
The boys baseball team has had some hits and misses with the weather so far this season, but even with the rain and snow, the team has still gotten off to a positive start.
Rainy, we've had a lot of rainouts, but performance on the field have been pretty good. We're still working on our team chemistry because we've only had 2 games. We have a bunch of underclassmen, so we're getting there.
It's Indiana weather in the spring, so you just never know what to expect. We've had 4 games already washed out due to weather, so we'll have to try to make those up down the road. So we're still in the learning phase of what we've got as a team and where we're ultimately, hopefully, will get to down the road.
Over spring break, the team was scheduled to travel to Vincennes to play 3 games, but snow ended up making the field unplayable. With a week and a half between games, the guys on the team had to find a way to stay sharp.
This is actually the first year we were allowed to go on spring break for a little bit, but we actually came back that Friday and there were optional workouts. And most of the guys, they took their fields with them to spring break because, you know, we're always working and we're always trying to get better. So that and accompanied with workouts, we were able to become ready for our Wapahani game.
Getting big, going hard in practice. We haven't really been able to get outside to the field much because it's been raining and soft, but we've been utilizing our turf and our indoor facilities to really help ourselves improve.
With the season being a long grind, it is important to stay patient, and patience is a part of each of the players' goals.
Going into the regular season, postseason, of course, we want to win sectionals, and ultimately the goal is to win state. So we're working on, basically we just have our goals when it comes to that is we got to make sure that our bats are right. Right now we have a little problem, even though it's only 2 games in, with backwards Ks and strikeouts.
We try to prepare ourselves for the tournament run, have some success, grow as a team, get to know what we've got and what we can count on, and the guys we can count on in the right situations, and then hopefully prepare ourselves for a long tournament run.
A unique feature to baseball is that each of the players are allowed to pick a walk-up song when it is their turn to hit, and each of the players have their favorite.
Who's the best walk-up song on the team? I'd say I have to say Isaac Bears, Can't Tell Me Nothing. That works very well.
Dan Swartz, what was it, the Tool song? Pretty hard.
I'm always a little nervous when walk-up songs come on.
After competing in a lot of games this last week, the team will get a bit of a time to rest as they'll next be in action on Thursday at Norwell.
Like I said, we are double dipping on this week's edition of the 2-Minute Drill, and we're going to check in with the girls lacrosse team this week. Here's my associate and anchor in training, Carson Clymer, with the report.
The girls lacrosse team is nearing the conclusion of their season, giving players the chance to reflect upon their performance.
Every game and every practice, we're continually getting better, and the fact that we have a almost 100% new JV team, they're all new players pretty much. We are making great improvements since the start of the season.
It's been good. You know, we went down to Evansville and we won some games. We've been playing a lot better as a team. even though we haven't been winning our games, but we've progressively been getting better.
This season is the first time the team has gotten to play on the turf football field, and all of the players appreciate the experience.
The experience to be able to play on the Homestead field for the first time is amazing. I've been in lacrosse for 4 years and I haven't played on the Homestead field, so it's a really great opportunity for us to be able to do that as well. And to be honored as a senior is amazing, and I can't wait for all my friends and family to be able to come to Homestead and see me play on the Homestead field for the first time.
It really means a lot to me because I feel truly like Spartan now, I guess. It's just kind of cool to be able to play on my home field for once and have like people close to me come out and see it.
Tonight is senior night for the team, and each of the seniors has set goals for the night.
I play defense, so my goal is to get a goal, finally.
My goal for senior night is to make my best save percentage and to make a lot of memories with my team. It's my last year, and I'm really excited that I'll get to play on Homestead's field.
Getting ready for the grind of the game is important, and some players have unique ways to get hyped for the game.
I would say Ellie Darmafal. She's constantly in the corner doing the shoot dance, and she's over there like dabbing and whipping.
The person with the best dance within the team is definitely Ayana. She's constantly dancing, and it's the funniest thing ever.
I'd have to say Ellie Darmafal. She's always like hyping it up.
Tonight is the last home game for the team, as they will be taking on Concord at home. For HHS In Depth, I'm Carson Clymer.
This weekend is a busy weekend in Spartan athletics as the girls tennis team will be traveling to play in the Warsaw Invitational. The boys golf team will be traveling to Warsaw to play in the Don Dicken Classic. The boys track and field team will be competing at the Northside Relays. The softball team will be at home against New Haven, and the girls track and field team will be at Marion. Good luck to all Spartan athletes who are competing on Saturday. Your quote of the week comes from the famous football coach Jimmy Johnson, with him saying the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. That'll do it for this week's edition of the 2-Minute Drill. I'm Garrett Willis. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll see you right back here next week.
And now it's time for the weekend weather forecast. Here's Joe Swymiller with another Whether or Not.
Hello, Homestead. It's me, Joe, and my best friend over here. We're going to be doing a little edition of Whether or Not. He's kind of a new student, so if you see him in the hallway, be sure to, give him a high five or give him a shout out or anything like that. I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing a lot more of him in the near future. Now, without further ado, it's weather time, baby. I should mention that this week's weather will be a little diverse, with today being pretty windy with a high of 72 and a low of 59. Tomorrow, we're going to see some thunder and lightning. It's a high of 63 and a low of 43. On Sunday, we're going to have some more rain with a high of 48 and a low of 30. Well, that's all the time I had this week, Homestead. Your quote of the week comes from Always Sunny in Philadelphia's Frank Reynolds, who once asked me if I would like an egg in this trying time. Tune in next week for another fine edition of Whether or Not. Hopefully I'll have a coat or something. It's kind of cold in this room, but see you later.
Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Ellie Davis.
And I'm Carson Clymer. Thank you for watching today.
And now here are this week's Pictures of the Week.
To have your photo in the running for Picture of the Week, just email us a high-resolution photo in landscape mode with your name and grade level to hhsindepth@gmail.com.
Today we leave you with a song exclusive to Homestead's radio station, The Point 91 FM, along with a time-lapse of our new set being built over spring break.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.
Just